What's up with y'all? What's up with y'all? Welcome back to Moxy Approved. Yeah, you know what? I had to revisit this one video. Okay, y'all really like the video of Tariq Nasheed tearing up the guy from the J community. You know what? So here goes the last few minutes of that. I saw y'all in the comments section, so I'm gonna post the last few minutes of it. I will say this. This is another part of it that was pretty good, where they're talking about the caller is talking about how his community pretty much fought so blacks can be in the suburbs. And yeah, man, I'm gonna let y'all judge what y'all hearing. All right, but before we get to it, please do me a favor, hit that like button, and if you haven't yet, apply pressure to that subscribe button. Apply pressure to that subscribe button. Oh yeah, turn the notification bell up to all too. All right, let's go.
The ADL was step in step, defending civil rights activists, pay
No,
for their legal bills, giving them legal representation to get them out of jail, to allow them to continue to protest. Okay,
dude,
filing federal lawsuits against housing discrimination, pushing
this was
Congress
our
to pass the
community pulling. Our
1968 Voter
community
Rights
was doing
Act.
most of that. So, dude, it was
What's
the
that?
black community pulling their resources together, making stuff happen.
And Jewish people were hand in hand there, and you just pretend that Jewish people have no role whatsoever.
Some,
They're just
some,
invisible.
there were some minimal numbers, as you like
Minimal
to
numbers.
say,
See, it's always
minimal,
about discounting it. It's
which is what you
anti-Semitism is
do.
something that Jews everywhere that Jewish people go in this country, there's anti-Semitism. It's never good enough.
And there's
It
anti-black racism coming from the dominant society and including your community,
and there's
sir.
anti-Semitic rhetoric. Most of the anti-Semitic rhetoric right now that's being popularized in this country is being done by people who consider themselves, like Black Israelite aligned, like Kanye West and Ice Cube and
And
Kyrie
these are
Irving and all
people,
these
and
people.
notice these people will zero power, and there has not been
They don't
anything
will
done to
zero
them.
power.
They
They will
do. They
have
no
zero
power.
power at the end of
The
the day if
power
they
are the
if they
Levitt
cross
brothers.
Jews. If they cross Jews, they will have.
The power comes from the Levitt brothers, people like that. And that those were just the prominent ones. There were many people like the Levitt brothers who discriminated against black people during Jim Crow. And black people were the financial base of these businesses. They would set up businesses within black society and we would fund them. And then when people got their money, they would use that money to build suburban areas and discriminate against black people and not allow us to go in. They were some of the people in these stores who would not let some of us go into these stores in certain parts of the South. These are the realities of what really went down. Showing one or two people who were down, a speechwriter here, somebody there. We're not going to sit here and act like they were the ones who pushed that line. It was foundational black Americans out in the streets putting in that damn work, making stuff happen. It was black folks in the streets getting their heads bashed in. My family members putting in that work, making things happen for everybody. That's where people got their civil rights from. They got it from black people, foundational black Americans in the streets, putting in some damn work, busting heads, putting their lives on the line physically. That's where civil rights came from, sir. Don't sit here and practice anti-black racism and minimize what my FBA family did by talking about one or two speech writers that might have been with Dr. King or somebody like that. You're practicing anti-black racism, sir. And people pushed us in the forefront because we were the ones helping them get more benefits and rights. We were the ones helping them more so than them helping us. If we want to keep it really real,
No,
Peter.
I mean, look, I mean, we can talk ad nauseum about this. You're saying that there were other Jewish people that also benefit in these ways. Well, I'm just supposed to take your word for granted because I don't know. At the end of the day, we could talk about the individuals. Jews are a tiny minority of the population and always have been. So the idea that all the
I'm
businesses
talking
in the
about the
South were owned
thousands
by
of I'm
Jews.
talking about the thousands and thousands of black people who were taking to the streets and making sure that we got civil rights. By the thousands that we saw on television during that time, all in the media. You're not going to discount my FBA family
And
putting in that work.
who do you think published those articles in the media? Who do you think
Oh,
made those
Lord.
documentaries? You don't think that
Lord.
Jewish people had an influence in the media for pushing the civil rights movement? If it wasn't for Jews and their relationship with Hollywood going back to the 1950s, after it was essentially bought out by white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, none of that stuff ever would have been the mainstream.
But
All the
but
beatings and
but
attacks,
Peter,
dropping
Peter,
over the bridge
Peter,
in Selma,
Peter,
Alabama, no one would have even heard of it because it
Peter.
never would have been carried in any of the publications which were run and owned by Jews.
But I thought that was anti-Semitic to say that the Jews own the media.
That's I'm not saying that I'm not saying that Jews own the media. Jews have used their influence within the media to the benefit of the rest of society. So to
I
say
thought,
that they use
aren't you being anti-Semitic saying that though? You said the Jews run the media. If it weren't for the Jews running the media, we wouldn't have got all that civil rights coverage. But ain't that anti-Semitic though? Right?
Jewish people fought tooth and nail for the power that they have within society, and they have managed it well. Okay, and they
Boy,
deserve.
you
No,
really
it's in
deflected
all
from that.
seriousness. Jewish people deserve the influence that they
You
have, and
you
Jewish people do everything that they can to stop. Okay, the
boy, you
permeating
deflected from that, boy.
anti-Semitism that leads to them being
But hold
genocided,
on,
and it's perfectly
Peter. But
natural,
I thought
Tariq.
that was Peter. Aren't you being anti-Semitic by saying that Jews run the media and we got to thank the Jewish media for portraying the civil rights movement, though?
It's not. It's not all of it. It's just the majority of it was influenced. It's
Oh,
not all of it, but the majority of it, in fact, was influenced by Jewish people and still is to
oh,
this day. And at the end of
oh.
the day, how do
But
you?
when
So how?
but when Kanye says that, don't y'all say he's the biggest anti-Semite?
Kanye's not saying that though. Kanye's
Yes, he
saying that
is.
he's saying that Jewish people wield their power, okay, at the expense of black people, and that's just not true.
No, I don't think he said
And
that.
that well, yes,
But
he
y'all was
did
saying
say
no,
that.
no, 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 no. Y'all was saying that he's bad for saying that Jewish people run the media because that's a bad anti-Semitic trope. But
Well,
you
what's
just
going to
said,
happen? What's going to happen when average working white people figure out when Christians figure out what's going on? Do you
I
think
don't
that's
know.
going to end well?
I don't know. I don't know what that even means. But you just said that Jewish people run the media.
And so, but what's the repercussion? What do you think's going to happen?
I
Okay,
don't know
when
what you're
white
talking.
working class people figure out what's going on, and they say, okay, Jewish people are smart. They work extremely hard. There is nepotism. We are a somewhat insular group at the end of the day, but we don't brutalize people like other power groups. Would you rather have white Anglo-Saxon, Protestants at the reins of power in this country, or would you rather have Jews? Which, if you had to pick between either one, who would you pick?
Oh, so let me see. So if I had to choose between Ulysses Grant or
Okay, this conversation is just getting too out of control and
no, 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 no,
anti-Semitic,
no, no,
and
no, no, no.
I
This
don't.
is what you
I'm
asked me. No, no, no,
I'm
no,
going to
no,
leave, Tariq.
no, no,
I'm
no.
just
Okay, okay. So if I have to choose from Robert E. Lee, slave owner, and Judah P. Benjamin, slave owner, you're saying Judah P. Benjamin would have been a better slave owner? Peter, Peter. So you're asking me to choose slave owners because Judah P. Benjamin was kind of brutal.
no Jewish people don't own slaves. That's not. I'm talking about here and now. Okay,
Oh,
we have a decision on how we want to move going forward in this country. What do we want to do? Or do you want to go back and revert back and have white supremacists, neo Nazis like Nick Fuentes running the country? Is that really what you want, or would you rather have it the way that it's been for the last 20 years or so? And it's getting better. It's getting more
the last
progressive.
20 years of black people getting their heads bashed in. How's that?
It's getting better for everyone, despite what
How?
you might think.
How better for black people? How?
At least these things are being brought. If it wasn't for Jewish influence in the media, do you think they ever would have covered, the George Floyd thing? Do you think police officers would have body cams now if it wasn't for Jewish civil rights activists suing? You don't think that this has any sort of influence? You don't think that we're all fighting white supremacy together?
Yo, suing?
You just want to wipe your
So
hands of
you
Jewish
so
people
all
and
the
just
millions of my black family who hit the streets in this country, insignificant. It was a couple of Jewish people who sued.
it's not insignificant in that. But you're
We
talking
hit the
about actually.
streets, man. We hit the streets by the millions in this country. What are you talking about? And we got to pop our collar to some. We got to pop. Listen, we got to pop our collar to some lawyers who sued basically for other groups because they
It's
were
not
using
some
Joe. They
lawyers
were.
who sued.
Oh no, wait, because let's go there. Some of these other groups were using George Floyd's murder to get money and benefits for trans people, immigrant groups, and all of these other folks. And I'm supposed to pop my collar to that? They were
I'm not. That's
using
not what
George
I'm saying.
Floyd. They were using George Floyd to get policies that protect other groups. It wasn't
No,
for black folks.
you're blaming the anti-Asian stuff that happened in New York as a result of George
Yeah,
Floyd.
well, no,
Has
all over. No, no,
nothing
no.
to do
All
with
of
the
these other,
Jewish
no,
community.
they used the
Well, who
George
else?
Floyd. No,
How
no,
have Jews
stop. No, no,
benefit?
no, no,
Okay,
no, 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 no. They used the death of George Floyd to sit here and say, well, not only Black Lives Matter, Trans Black Lives Matter too. Immigrants matter. Minorities matter. They used George Floyd's death in order to get benefits for their group. Also, they were setting up all of these nonprofits where they would get money in, and the Black community sees none of that money. We're supposed to pop our collar to that?
I'm not. What do you mean? What does that have to do with Jewish people?
Well, all of these different groups. You keep saying that all of these people were suing and all of this stuff. None of this stuff trickled down to the Black community. That's what I'm saying.
There was a lot of it, but there were a lot of Black Lives Matter activists that ended up taking that money for their own personal gain and spending it on things that they probably shouldn't.
Throw
I'm
them
not
under.
going to name names.
No. And that's the thing. And y'all throw those people under the bus. But where did the rest of that 90 million and all of that stuff went? We know where 4 million here, 6 million there went. There's like 80, 90 million more dollars that's unaccounted for. Did that go to some of your community, sir? Where did that money go?
It's not unaccounted for. You know exactly where it went. And if that money hadn't gone there, it went to Act Blue. And what did that do? It prevented Donald Trump from being reelected. That's where that George Floyd money went. It went to the Democratic Party, okay, who is anti-racist, who's defending, okay, Black people and Jewish people from racist Nazi Republicans.
Okay, you ain't going. Okay, you ain't gonna just sit here and lie now. Stop it. Now you just trolling at this point. Now I'm not gonna sit here and let you just sit here and lie. Now you trolling.
How is that a lie? How is that a lie?
How has the Democrats protected Black people?
What do you mean? Who do you think has passed all of these? Every single one of these pieces of legislation that has moved us just a little bit further into the future, a little bit better off, has been the Democratic Party. Tell me how the Republican Party has defended Black people when they're trying to fight to protect qualified immunity, to protect all these things. Bail reform, okay? We can talk about the entire judicial system, the district attorneys, okay?
Okay, first of all Black people are not criminals, okay? Talking about bail reform, that whole anti-Black narrative that Black people are inherently criminal and everything involving the criminal justice system is synonymous with Blackness is an anti-Black trope. I'm talking about the average innocent Black person walking around who can be killed with impunity by a race soldier. How's the Democrats stop that or help with that?
What you think that you think that if you have a police department, okay, that has qualified immunity, and they one of these race soldiers, quote unquote, goes and perpetrates a crime against someone, it allows them to not be personally liable for that crime. So it opens them up, which makes them more apprehensive about violating someone's rights, innocent or not.
Who's been liable for killing all these damn Black people? And
white supremacist police officers that do target the Jewish community, that do target Jewish people as well. So, it's the idea that, that Jewish people are somehow antagonistic to Black people is insane.
Whoa. Name the Jewish person who's been shot in the back by a race soldier and the race soldier didn't get punished. Name them.
I can't name one.
Okay, Peter.
I'm sure I could find
it. Peter. Thank you, Peter. Thank you. Have a good day, Peter. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, this was a very weird call. This was a very weird caller. I'm not gonna say none of this surprised me, but if you listen to this is crazy. It's pretty much basically what he's saying is if you call out the anti-Black people of our community, you're putting us all in danger. So we supposed to just stay silent and just let them do all? Because I'm gonna tell you what, Dave Chappelle said one thing that was very important during his stand-up that he did on Saturday Night Live. He said that horrible things has happened to that community all around the world, but the Blacks don't have no parts to do with that. And we don't. But the part that he didn't talk about is, well, what have y'all done to the Black community? And you know what? Just like everything else, we question everything on this channel. Everything. And we're going to continue to question that kind of stuff, all right? But anyways, y'all know how we like to end our videos over here at Moxy Approved, right? With that water. I see y'all here next time on Moxy Approved. The suburbs. Safe for Blacks. Get out of here.